It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Oh, let's review.
Season 2. We'll analyze the scene.
Sounds holly jolly to me.
Before it's over, let's begin.
Bomb.
Bum again.
Again. Yeah, that's right, folks. That's right. Welcome to, well, God damn it. Reading from the wrong one.
Yep.
Wow. I'm awesome. Okay.
You get the fruitcake.
I totally deserve the fruitcake. Since the Christmas season's upon us, we thought the way to celebrate and get into the holiday spirit would be with some holiday reviews.
12 to be exact. Decoratively divided into 4 categories for your Yuletide pleasure.
So, without further ado, silver up those bells, light the multicolored lights, and go out and build a snowman as you join us for some seasonal shenanigans. How you doing, BlueDragonFive?
Okay.
Right on. So this was all you, man. I hadn't even heard of this thing before you brought it up to me.
Oh, yeah, I was very excited about it. I was with it since last it announced it. I was just very jazzed out of my mind for it when I heard that.
And you know what, BlueDragonFive? This was a
Yeah.
big disappointment.
Oh.
I really didn't like this at all.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. This was great. This was awesome. This was a really, really good, tightly put together Christmas tale. Lots of inventiveness going on here that we'll get into, but what are we talking about?
We're talking about the first Christmas special of this brand, Prep and Landing.
That's right. Isn't this like the first of a series?
Unfortunately, not a long enough series in my opinion, but because there haven't really been any more in production of late. But it's this one, a sequel, and there are 2 shorts. One very short. One's just really an after effect. There is an actual short that won an Emmy.
Nice. I would assume that maybe next year we'll go back and take a look at the sequel. Is that fair to say?
Yes, that's very fair to say.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. But for now, let's talk about the original 2009 Prep and Landing. So, what's our story here, BlueDragonFive? What do we got?
Okay, so here's the story in a nutshell, folks, for our half-an-hour TV special. So we're introduced to the Prep and Landing elves, who on Christmas Eve go on a mission to prepare landing sites for Santa Claus, the big man. So things go like clockwork, and so we can make all the houses in one night, as Santa's known to do. Our main elf here, Wayne, our head Prep and Landing elf here, he's been doing it for 227 years. He's getting a little tired of it, as you can imagine. And he hopes to move up, finally. Move up to the director of the naughty list. But he's denied his promotion around the holidays. He's really bummed out as a result. And as he's really bummed out as he trains his new partner, Lanny, kind of the eager, it's like kind of a buddy cop thing. He's his eager new partner, Lanny. On Christmas Eve, though, it's given some real on-the-job training, but because he's so disenfranchised, Wayne doesn't have his heart in it this time around, and this leads to mistakes and to little Timmy being overlooked on Santa's delivery route. After realizing the error of his ways, Wayne manages to bring Santa to Timmy's house in the end and becomes comfortable with his job as a Prep and Landing elf.
Yeah. That's it. Okay. So, with that in mind, what background do you have on this? Because I'm going in blind. It's all you on this.
So I don't have a lot. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of background on this, but here's just kind of the general stuff. Okay, so this idea stemmed from Chris Williams. Now, Chris Williams, for those who may not be aware, he's kind of in that the 2000s, the early 2000s era, before the Chicken Little stuff of Disney. So like, he was working on Emperor's New Groove. I mean, I know it was a little bit before that, but
Emperor's New Groove is my jam, man. That is one of my favorite Disney movies.
So I'm saying this guy's gotten around in terms of like the Disney projects. He's worked on a lot of good stuff. He's worked on Emperor's New Groove. He's worked on Frozen, but most notably, he was the director on Bolt. He voiced Oaken in Frozen, and he was also the co-director on Big Hero 6.
Nice. Yeah.
So Chris Williams has built a great little repertoire of Disney productions. He got some good ones under his belt here, and he came up with the idea. Now, John Lasseter, I believe this is directly after he became the chief creative officer. Because this was, I think the idea was put into production in 2007. That's when things were getting moving. Because it takes animation takes time. So I believe this special debuted 2009. So it takes about 2 years to animate.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway, so Chris Williams at this time, remember, Bolt was, I believe, his first directorial debut, and basically John Lasseter put Chris Williams after he's impressed with his work, put him on Bolt as the one of the directors. So this project fell in the hands of 2 other people who've done some other shorts, and the main reason this short was made was put into the work.
I'm sorry, really quick. So you're saying Chris Williams was the guy who basically replaced Chris Sanders on Bolt?
If I'm right, yes, I believe so.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's the case.
That's a little bit of a sore spot with me because I remember really following the Hollywood dog concept that Chris Sanders had going on, and then being really disappointed when he was dropped from the project. But oh well.
All right. Well, the main thing is John Lasseter, when he was appointed chief creative officer, he made the decision to kind of bring back the shorts. That was his big thing. He was like kind of. That's why the Disney movies, it's not that they didn't really go without shorts, but now it's kind of a big thing with them. Now, wasn't there a stretch of Disney films without really shorts?
Oh, there was definitely a stretch of Disney films without shorts, yeah.
Yeah, so John Lasseter is the one who's really behind bringing those back.
I don't even know if there were shorts during the 90s Renaissance.
That's the thing. So, to my knowledge, I believe John Lasseter is the one who directly brought back the shorts for their movies now. So he's the reason that our most of our new Disney movies have shorts perform, like Feast and such.
Mm-hmm. Don't feed the dog all that stuff. It's dangerous for him. It bothers the crap out of me. All
right. Look, my point is, John Lasseter, he's kind of the guy who's like, he's bringing back the shorts, and with that too, he's kind of looking to some old ideas of like, well, let's do a Christmas special. He says, let's make Prep and Landing a Christmas special instead of just an average short. It's mainly a 20-minute Christmas special on TV. And the other Disney executives, they're really loving this idea because they can compete with DreamWorks in their holiday specials with this. That's the other main reason this thing got made. They compete with DreamWorks' Shrek the Halls.
Oh yeah, right. Shrek the Halls was really good too. That was very admirable.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a smart move, and last year's kind of cheerleading because you got to remember. Toy Story originally started as a 20-minute Christmas special.
The Tin Toy Holiday Special.
Yeah. And of course, you saw that snowballs. I mean, a Christmas special around the holidays has always been on John Lasseter's mind, so I think that's why he kind of like put this one into production here. I think the end result is the work shows. It's a classic Christmas special.
Well, I think the great thing about this special is that it really exemplifies everything that Pixar's known for. Like, if you can just go down the list, and it's got like the great kind of odd couple pairing of the main characters. That's something that Pixar's great at. It's got just all the inventive world building, all this clever, like, oh, you never thought about that. You never even thought about how something like this would be done, but they're showing it to us in really cool, clever ways. And then, of course, you've got your inside-out tissue moments, which is becoming a goddamn staple of Pixar. So,
oh yeah, and of course you got to remember, it's like this is like the this is within that. I'm trying to think when was Tangled released?
Tangled was
2010, right?
I want to say 10. I want to say it was 09. No. Princess and the Frog was 09. So
no, wasn't Princess and the Frog 08 though?
No, Princess and the Frog was same year as Avatar, and Avatar was 09.
Oh, okay. So, I don't know why. I'm just thinking Princess and the Frog was 2008, but yeah, you're
right.
No,
I remember that because Princess and the Frog released the week before Avatar, and it got really good box office that first weekend, but then Avatar came out, and it just got crushed after that. I distinctly remember that.
All right, fair enough. Anyway, so I guess Tangled probably came out 2000. The point is, like, Tangled onward, I guess. Well, also Princess and the Frog onward, but I'm just saying mainly with Tangled onward, you can kind of tell it's kind of it's a lot of kind of our Pixar quality infused into the Disney films in that regard. It's like kind of Disney finding its legs again, which is kind of many people kind of nickname it kind of the second Renaissance or whatever they want to call it.
Well, it was oddly enough Disney finding its legs again right as Pixar was going into its first little bout of growing pains.
Yeah, which is and again, nothing bad there. Just it's growing. It's nothing bad. They're still diamond films. Come on.
Brave has like slipped over time. Brave is not a movie that holds up well for me. But anyways.
Okay, my point is, this is like in the line of Disney films that have like a Pixar quality to them, from like Tangled,
Totally,
Wreck-It Ralph,
totally.
Frozen, and then onward. This specials in that line of those byproducts, I think.
I think Wreck-It Ralph in particular was the movie where it's like, oh my god, this feels like a Pixar movie. Like this feels like the world building that a Pixar movie would have.
Like this, Wreck-It Ralph and Frozen feel like the most Pixar influenced of all the Disney products we've gotten lately.
I wouldn't say Frozen, because I think Frozen was more kind of just the revitalization of like the 90s Broadway style Disney film. But this and Wreck-It Ralph, most definitely.
Okay, at least Wreck-It Ralph in this, so you're right.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, but yeah, that's all I really wanted to say with the background there.
All right, so let's get to some characters. Yeah.
All right, so let's start with Wayne. Wayne, voiced by Pixar alumni Dave Foley.
Oh,
Best
yeah.
known as Flick the Ant from
Flick. God damn, that voice sounded so familiar. It was driving the crap out of me.
Also, Dave Foley, being a nice guy, he's also come back in some other Pixar films in small roles, particularly in Monsters University. He was one of the twins on the heads of the one monster.
Right. Do you mind if I take this hat off? It's like squeezing my head, and I have.
All right, take the hat off.
I'm sorry.
Crush the holiday spirit.
I can give Snoopy the Santa hat. I mean, it'll like completely like cover his head, but.
All right, so back to Wayne.
Yeah, back to Wayne. Carry on. Don't mind me. Don't mind me.
Well, stop saying "don't mind me" sometimes. So Wayne's a great character. Wayne is there's a fun slant on the Wayne character here that you can relate to him easily. In that he's a guy, he's a working stiff. He's been doing a good job all these years, and then he's just overlooked in a service, and we kind of root for this guy.
Yeah, I think anyone who's like held a job and feels underappreciated can totally relate to this guy. Yeah,
and the idea that he loved the work, but.
One of the funniest lines, is it's just like, yeah, I've been around here 240 years or whatever the number is.
227.
227 years, and the magic's just gone for me, man.
Yep. I mean, you feel bad for Wayne, and that he starts off this special just kind of looking all happy-go-lucky. He's in his really cool, awesome-looking snowmobile. Which is a thing, by the way. He drives really top-of-the-line snowmobiles. That's what he prides himself on. Anyway, so, he's coming on the top of it. He thinks he's getting a promotion. He thinks he's a cinch for it. There's a lot of talk in the air, and he's somewhat right in that, his squadron is up for the promotion. And, he's thinking everything's coming up 7 for him. Finally, all his 227 years of hard work are finally paying off. Again, he never really kind of complains, but he loves the job. But he's just thinking, I'm a little tired of it. I want to change things up a little bit, which you can't blame him for. It's kind of Jack Skeleton syndrome,
It's very much Jack Skeleton syndrome.
It's not that he doesn't have any less love for it. It's I'm tired of doing the grunt work for once. I'm more than happy doing it, but I think I've earned. I think I've earned a rise in the world.
Totally.
Yeah. Well, what do you think, Wayne?
I think like I said, I think he's very relatable to just the working class stiffs of the world. You know what it kind of reminds me of? You know what I feel like it might be a little bit of a commentary on is how people work at Disneyland and the magic's kind of lost after that. Because I hear a lot of cast members say that. I hear like, oh man, I can't just go to Disneyland and enjoy myself anymore because it's a job now. So I don't know. I might be reaching with this, but I think it might be a little bit of a parallel there because it is Disney after all. So
I don't know. I'm not sure I see that, but
well, I'm just saying, having this really cool magical job, and then kind of like just doing it as a grind, and any job becomes a grind. I mean, I remember when I was 13 years old, my dream job would be to be a Jungle Cruise skipper. And now I realize as an adult, I'd have to relocate my whole life. I'd have to like work minimum wage or close to minimum wage. And, it just wouldn't be worth it. And the day-to-day grind of being a Jungle Cruise skipper would just wear on you. So I feel the same way as as Wayne would in this kind of situation.
I guess what I love was just to finish up on one here. I guess what I
Yeah.
like most about him is character. And I think Dave Foley brings us to this character excellently. Again, he's played these. He's big on the I don't know what was it called. It's news radio, right? He kind of plays this kind of character on news radio, like kind of these. It's kind of a working office dynamic. He really plays in that show, from what I understand. Point is, Dave Foley really brings this great quality in that he is. Sorry, just trying to think of what my point was with this. I mean, he has, I don't know, he's just very sympathetic, and it's the mundanity associated. That's what I'm looking for. It's just he has this great mundanity associated with him. It's an office job, he thinks he knows everyone's names, and he's so happy around about getting this promotion, and you take it away from him. He has an arc. He has a genuine arc you can gravitate towards in all this.
Well, it's fun because he is, like, if anyone is the Scrooge in the special, it's probably him towards the beginning. But he doesn't stay that way for long, and I feel like it's a very likable kind of character in that way. It's like he's not greedy or anything like that. He's just kind of fed up. He's just kind of burned out with everything.
Yeah, it's like I'll tell you what it is. It's not just mundane. It's like with any job, with any of us, he's just having a really bad day. It's just compiled on the fact that it's bad timing for a really
right.
So it's not really this special takes a chance, and I respect them for taking this chance, and I think it pays off. That he does things that might be misconstrued as unlikable, but they're not unlikable at all. It's like very relatable, very understandable.
That, like I said, just very working man stiff, kind of like relatable.
Exactly. I mean, people like looking at this like without the context of like what's happened to him in the beginning of the special. You think, oh man, this guy's just like the laziest jerk around the holidays. Why is this guy working in this? But you understand. You see that opening. You see, he's done this over and over again. He's done excellent work, and he thinks he deserves this thing, not out of malice. I genuinely put in the hard-earned thing. I'm looked over for this. He's the Ron Livingston of elves.
Pretty much.
And it works. The character, Dave Foley just brings that quality to this character, just like it's a work and grind, but it brings that like I've done this for a long time. It just brings that like a genuine tired thing we can all relate to. I don't know, it's very relatable. Okay, so aside from just repeating that over and over again, let's talk about Lanny.
All right, let's talk about Lanny. Yeah, he was a little bit of a mix. If any character in this is a little bit of a mixed bag, it's probably going to be him.
I think he gets a lot better in the second.
Okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think he's unlikable or anything like that. I just think there's a couple moments with him where he's maybe a little irritating.
Yeah, but it's the idea. He's earnest. He's the rookie. It's his first mission. He's supposed to be trained by Wayne on the job. Which, by the way, is like another reason Wayne's probably annoyed. He just saddled with this guy at the last minute.
Of course, when he thought he was going to get a promotion, and now he's like, "Oh, geez, now I'm stuck with this idiot."
That's the thing, because the guy who is getting the promotion was his ex-partner, was the guy he trained for. That's the thing that really kind of just rubs the dirt in the wounds. That he trained the guy for all those years, for like 227 years. The guy he's worked aside for all those years that he trained has gotten his promotion. He doesn't like wish ill will towards the guy. It's just like, well, I taught him.
Right. I love that scene where he's trying to keep it together. He's like, "Oh no, I'm not disappointed at all."
Yeah, no, Peterson's a great guy. Good for him.
Everyone has been in that situation at some point.
Exactly. He's just I wanted that promotion. Not even the parking sticker. Nothing. Just nothing. But Lanny, I mean, he's earnest. He's new on the job. See, if there's anything like kind of like on surface level stupid about the guy, like he's acting stupid, it's like, no, he's not stupid. It's like it's his first time. He's just trying to get the ropes here. He's trying to look. He should be mentored. He should have his mentor with him in the scenes, but he's not there because he's so defeated in his life right now. He's just like, he's watching TV. He's not helping him at all.
Okay, well, I would actually wager to say that, like I said, I don't really have issues with him. I just kind of have little peeves with him. And one of the things that kind of got under my skin right at the beginning was kind of the opposite of him being stupid. I thought he was just kind of a know-it-all.
Well, I mean, like, when I say stupid, I mean, like, again, there's the thing where he can't read the door. He doesn't know the push or the pull thing, but, it's...
But I'm talking about just, how he's going, like, he's following protocol so closely. I thought that was, like, really kind of obnoxious.
I don't find that obnoxious. Again, he's new. He's a rookie. It's a greenhorn thing where he's learning from the master, but also all he really has with he graduated top of his class. They set that up.
But I would argue that, it's intentional, though, and that's why I don't really have a problem with it. It's intentional because it's like we're supposed to see that as annoying because we're following it through Wayne's eyes, and in Wayne's eyes, he's been around the block, and he knows that it's like, these are just kind of more guidelines than anything else, and if you want to get the job done, you can't, like there's that whole bit where they have to carry the kid up to the room, and it's like, just like that's just going to slow them down, so if you want to get the job done, you kind of got to bend the rules a little.
Yeah, it's classic buddy movies. It's like a buddy cop movie, like the grizzled the grizzled veteran cop who's a few days away from retirement, or at least a promotion in this case, and are kind of our new rookie guy.
That is one of my favorite moments where Lanny's just like, but the children must be nestled, all snug in their beds. And then Wayne just turns around and gives the most exasperated, defeated sigh.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, they do have a point. Lanny does have a point bringing the kid back into the bed, because again, if Santa comes there and the kid wakes up, that's Kurt.
That's true. That's true. That is a good point.
The kid does actually have to be nestled in the bed. That's the main purpose of the elves. You gotta make sure no creatures are stirring. Make sure there's no people awake to see Santa Claus.
And it's really, again, I love this special just for the fact that it's not just Santa, it's his prep team. It's like you wouldn't even think of something like that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I guess we should go to, speaking of just kind of Santa and the whole prep team setup there, I guess we should go to kind of our lead of mission control here, McGee.
Yeah, she's really likable for the limited screen time she has. She actually kind of has an arc in itself.
McGee is fun. She's a lot of fun. She continues to be fun. It's just kind of the coffee drinking, nervous around again, it's like all this preparation for one night, and she's like overseeing it. And like, you see if she loves working for the big guy, and she just wants to please him. And it's just like, okay, well, everything's going to go perfectly, but she's still giving the harsh truths, though. It's like, it's emotional moments with McGee.
Her animation is really on point. Like the way she's like twitching nervously all the time and everything. It's great.
Just the caffeine addicted elf. Like out of stress, she drinks all this caffeine. The coffee, the eggnog, all of that, and also, I mean, there's this great moment. She has these great kind of moments of humanity, which is kind of playing the HR rep in some aspects of it. She's like the secretary of the she's like all the office jobs rolled into one with her many aspects where she breaks the news to Wayne that he didn't get the promotion. It's like, oh, what happened? And still she does, and you'll notice this in the other specials too, that she's not afraid to kind of mock Wayne a little bit here and there. Like, again, nothing harsh, but just kind of like a little jab in the chops, saying like she knows he's not going to like this news, but she'll still like tell him, oh, what happened? You lose a bet, sweetie, with the tie.
right.
Well, I like that tie.
It is a good tie.
Yeah, it's my celebration tie.
Okay.
But I'm saying, like, she knows, like, she's breaking bad news to him, but also she's like jabbing him in the chops a little bit too.
But yeah, she's very professional, but she's professional at the cost of her own sanity, if that makes any sense.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's that moment there when Instant Wayne tells her that we're not in the location. She doesn't listen to his BS of an excuse. She she instantly just goes to business. Like, she has to pull the plug, and she doesn't want to, but she has to by the book. She has to pull the plug. And it really kills. It's one of the great scenes in this thing. But we'll talk about that when we get to dynamics in a little bit.
Get the inside out tissues ready.
Oh yeah, just wait for it, folks. Oh yeah, I guess a little bit on Tiny.
Well, I think Tiny's more of a gag than a fully fleshed out character. But
he is, it's Tiny's the idea. This is like McGee's assistant. He gets the coffee and then the eggnog and the cocoa. And
never see his face. You just see the top of his hat.
And Tiny has a short, so again, it's really like in total, it's like 4 prep and landing things. 2 of them are just the full specials. You get like a 5-minute short. And Tiny's thing's like 2 minutes.
Okay.
It was like a short in many ways.
Well, that makes sense. That's very appropriate for him.
And basically, it's just him getting coffee. Him getting not coffee. Yeah, him getting eggnog for her.
Do we see his face?
No.
Good.
But still, that's the idea. It's like the coffee's on the top shelf, and he cannot get it.
Right.
Okay.
Maybe next year we can do like one episode, do the sequel, and then another episode, do the 2 shorts.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Maybe we'll see.
All right. Anyways,
Okay, let's see. I guess now we should get to the big man.
the big man. This is a really good Santa right here.
Yes, I love this Santa Claus. I really do.
First of all, I love how they play him up. I love how it's like you don't see his face at first. It's
And
like
you never do, by the way. You never see his face all the way.
Yeah, right. The closest you get is when, that little split screen thing happens.
Sometimes
when taking off.
the most you'll get is like a mouth or like a shadow of the guy. That's all you'll see.
Right. Just great voice. It's like Santa Claus is a superhero almost.
Oh yeah. No, it's so great. And I love how the voice sounds a lot like James Coburn.
Oh yeah.
It's not him, but like it always sounds remarkably like James Coburn. I love that.
Yeah, good stuff with Santa.
But yeah, this is the Santa Claus. This is absolutely a fantastic Santa Claus in animation. It really is. It's just like he has all the presents. He's got the not literally, but he has all the presents and he's got the magic, and he's just got that, like, you get the sense this guy cares about every kid. This is like a perfect Santa Claus, and he just brings that, like, you don't want to mess with this guy.
I don't think he's quite as enjoyable as the 'Twas the Night Santa was, but it's close. It's close up there.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. This guy's like all business, but you get a sense of like he's been doing this for many years too. He's like kind of the old veteran too, but he hasn't lost a step.
Well, that's what's great about it. Yeah.
It's like he hasn't lost a step, and his lifeblood is Christmas, doing this every year. He lives for this. He loves doing this, and he's like, no, don't get in my way. I want to do this. I want to deliver gifts to the children. I'll make all the children happy. It's gonna be awesome.
And he tests his elves in very kind of interesting and unique ways.
A very, very wise Santa too.
Oh yeah.
That was just great.
Okay.
So I guess quickly, we don't have a lot on these guys, but Timmy.
No, he's the heart of the special though.
No, I'm sorry, I meant the other two more than Timmy, but I just realized we had Timmy.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's still not a whole ton to talk about with Timmy, but he is the heart of the special. He is the inside-out tissue moment.
Yeah. I mean, the animation on Timmy is really good.
He just kind of represents childhood innocence and believing in Santa and everything like that. He's more of kind of like a plot device than anything else, than a fully fleshed out character. But I enjoy him. He was fine.
Yeah,
his role.
Okay, Thrasher.
Oh my god, I fucking love this guy.
You're gonna love his appearance in the next special.
Do you know his line that he has? Don't tell me now, but do you know it off the top of your head?
Give me 1 second. I think I know it. It's I know I'm not gonna tell you. I'm just thinking. I think I know the gist of it. I think I can help you out.
Okay. Yeah, help me out when we get to that, because he is one of my favorite scenes. So we'll kind of put a button in that for now.
So there's Thrasher. Let's just say he's really cool. And we'll get to the reasons why.
He is the most badass reindeer I have ever seen, bar none.
He is. He's got a great. I love the idea. He's Dasher's cousin.
He's like the Clint Eastwood of reindeer.
Oh, yeah, it looks like the Arnold Schwarzenegger of reindeer.
Oh god.
Like the Terminator of reindeer.
Right.
Okay, so speaking of Dasher and Dancer, they're kind of our lead reindeers, kind of the comic relief for the special. They're really fun. It's like the guys are just like so in the zone of delivering all the gifts, like they're hyped up.
Tell me one of them is Patrick Warburton.
No.
Really?
No, I know one. Thing is, I know who the other one of them. The notable one.
One of them sounds a lot like Patrick Warburton.
No, I didn't pick up on Patrick.
You didn't pack up. You really?
Because I know one of the voices is Dom DeLuise's son, who is like I believe Dasher's. Dasher's the one that's Thrasher, but he's the one with the deeper voice. I guess you somehow misconstrued as Patrick Warburton. How I don't know.
Guess so.
But
Dancer, I sworn it was Patrick Warburton.
Dancer is Dom DeLuise's son. Unfortunately, I want to say it's David DeLuise, but I just guess at the first name. David DeLuise, of course, big notable role is a Coop from Megas XLR, but also he's been on CSI. He's been in a lot of character bits.
And Dom DeLuise, also known as the guy who would have played Bing Bong if Inside Out was made in the 80s.
But also, of course, the man who started the Muppets in many ways, the man that got Kermit out of that swamp.
Of course. Okay.
And the man that Tex Richmond doesn't really care for
Oh
that
gosh.
much.
Oh god.
Okay, but anyway, that's the two of them. There's kind of like the comic relief. Like these are the guys who are just like so.
They're amazing. They are so goddamn into their job. They're like 100% full tilt committed to it.
The idea that Dancer's kind of the the game over, man, game over of the reindeer. He's just like the one that's like more willing to like acknowledge the problems, and Dash is like, how are we gonna do this? Laughing all the way.
That was a great line.
Oh yes, just Dasher was pretty cool. These reindeer, I love the designs of these reindeer. They look
These
so cool.
honestly might be my favorite reindeer that I've ever come across.
I might go with you there. These are some of the best reindeer.
Yeah, they're great. It's like they're just kind of like these trained soldiers or something. Like they are so ready for it.
Like the Marines of reindeer.
Right.
Okay, so let's get to our character dynamics. Like how the back and forth is between us. We have Wayne and Lanny as our main dynamic there.
Okay, well, like you said, I do really much think that it fits into the classic Pixar odd couple formula really well. What do you think?
Well, yeah, bear in mind, the odd couple formula has been around way before Pixar.
No, I know, but Pixar usually does it. I mean, can you think of a Pixar movie where they don't do that?
Well, I mean, yes, there are some when they didn't do that, but I mean...
Where? Which one? Tell me. I'm
Brave.
dying to know.
Brave? Wait, no, The Bear and the Mother, I guess that's kind of... I guess her and her mother's buddy movie. Okay. I'm pretty sure I thought there. See, I'm serious. I saw a chart and they laid out like all the buddy movie dynamics, and like there was some Pixar movie that didn't have it.
I don't believe you. I straight up don't believe you.
Oh wait, Bugs Life doesn't really have a buddy movie dynamic.
Yeah, that's about the closest I can think of. Yeah, I'll give you that.
I don't know. There might be. I'm trying to.
Not between the main character.
Incredibles, yeah, well, it has Frozone and Mr. Incredible, but it's not exactly the focus of the movie, though.
It's not.
So I'm just saying, and Cars 1 doesn't exactly have the buddy movie dynamic. Cars 2, I don't know.
It doesn't have the buddy movie dynamic, but it definitely has like the two main characters kind of as the odd couple, Mater and McQueen.
No, that's fair. I'm just saying, like, they're more paid off than the other. Okay, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways,
point is, the buddy movie dynamic is something strong with Pixar films. Yes, you're right, and it's like very buddy cop thing, like the Rookie and the season cop, which is very fun.
Oh yeah.
And with that, again, the main thing of their relationship here is that Lanny is giving Wayne fresh eyes as to why he does this. It's just kind of, again, this by the book method is just literally the representation of the rules and what the job is through Lanny, just kind of reminding Wayne literally what the mission statement is, why he does this, why he cared about it so much over the other 227 years. Why it's important, what he lives for, why he took this job on in the first place, why he didn't quit after all those years, why he kind of stuck it out to the point where he would be up for a promotion. And that's Lanny's role, and Wayne just kind of gets to impress his protege in many moments here when like Lanny's so hyped up to see, I'm studying under the greatest prep and landing elf ever. This is gonna be so cool.
Yeah, he's basically a fanboy.
He is, he like his poster on his wall, as he said, he has like Wayne's poster on his wall. And like Lanny has a thing where he's very disillusioned with Wayne after seeing like how kind of what's the word I'm looking? Not seasonal, but he's out of the holiday spirit. How lacking the holiday spirit is. And just like he's just very disillusioned. But then he gets a good bit there when they save Christmas, essentially. And he gets to see the heroic side of his hero.
Yeah, so really, I think that's it. It's just kind of like Lanny teaching Wayne, and then Wayne and himself kind of like setting a good example for what Lanny can do in the future.
Yeah. Okay. Then we got Wayne and McGee, as I mentioned during the breaking the news scene to him. They got kind of this history together. Like McGee is like like she would. Again, like if you're that elf, she's probably following all the paperwork and everything, so she would have to have many interactions with Wayne. Mm-hmm. So it makes sense that they've known each other after all these years, and it's like a point of like, oh yeah, Wayne, with that promotion, like she would be the one to break this news to him that she knows him probably best in line with this job, and she's known for that many years.
Yeah, they got a really fun back and forth with each other.
Oh yeah. And again, we know that they're friends on some level. Whether they rib each other, don't get me wrong, they do rib each other, but they're still good friends, especially with the knowledge that Wayne has about McGee, which we'll talk about.
Whoa. I'd like to think there's some past history there with Wayne.
Yeah. So Wayne has to be close to McGee with knowing the knowledge that he does.
That's what I'm saying. Oh god.
Speaking of which, with that, I don't know. I guess I'll save this one dynamic for that scene. So let's just
I don't think there's much there to talk about.
But let's break down our Santa dynamics here. So Santa and McGee. Let's start with that.
I really like this because it's like McGee is actually kind of like the cautious one, and Santa is really the one who's like, I want to get this done, regardless of the risk. I want to get it, and McGee's really kind of the one that's trying to talk him down.
Like the minute she goes for Big Red, the candlestick phone.
Oh, Big Red.
I
love all the fucking names in this thing.
Yes.
They're all so clever.
Yeah, Little Drummer Boy, Tree Skirt, the nicknames.
Rosebud.
Yes. Love the rose. I was laughing so hard.
I about lost it when they got to Rosebud.
Okay, anyway, but there's this really great bit of just the sense of history there. First of all, I love that McGee in her office is like a little picture of like either like an award or something being handed to her by this giant Santa hand. Like she frames it, and like Wayne points to it, saying, "Hey, that's you talking to the big guy."
Yeah, that's a nice kind of visualization right there of where she stands with him.
Yeah, but also, I just love the scene where it's showing you the history and like the dynamic she and Santa have, where she goes for Big Red, the candlestick phone, and the instant Santa picks up, because again, McGee's like the one who makes that call and says, everything's fine, McGee. I can handle it.
Right.
Just like says, I know you're calling to bum me out and tell me not to take the house, but I can handle it. It's a little snowy out. It's fine.
So in a weird way, McGee is kind of like his supervisor.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
It's really funny.
And you wouldn't think that Santa would have someone that he has to listen to, but that's McGee's job.
Yeah, she directs the big man. She
right.
the bomb.
I don't know. This whole thing is just, I totally expected it going in, but it did not disappoint in any way with giving us some fantastic Christmas world building and ideas.
Oh, yeah. the world building this is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
So speaking of which, okay, let's get to Santa and Wayne. Of course, with them, it's like Wayne kind of bringing kind of the positivity to Santa Claus there of like, things look hopeless, but no, sir, I can deliver on this, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And of course, the payoff ultimately is just it's a beautiful inside out tissues worthy moment where Santa Claus is kind of testing Wayne. Of course, you got to remember Santa Claus, whether despite having a supervisor like McGee, Santa Claus does have as say so on like who gets the promotions and who doesn't. He's the boss. So he's the one who picked Peterson over him, and there's a reason for that. Of course, by the end we see that reason. Which I guess we'll get to.
Really quick, because I don't think we're going to bring it up in our favorite scenes, but one of the inside out tissue moments that really got to me is that one moment where Timmy like kind of rolls over and he's like, "This is going to be the best Christmas ever." I'm like, "Oh God. Oh, fuck you, Pixar."
Remember, it's Disney. It's not Pixar.
No, I don't care. It feels like Pixar. It's a total Pixar moment. Pixar just messing with our emotions, man. They just love to do that.
You're messing with the blue, red, green, purple, and then yellow emotions in our head.
Oh, God. And then, he has to, like, freaking, like, it's not only that line, but he has to, like, cuddle Wayne like a damn teddy bear, and Wayne has to slip out and put the giraffe in. Oh, God. In the feels, man. The feels. All right, anyway.
Merry Christmas, Wayne.
Oh, God.
Okay. So
here's to you, Dad.
Again, the best Jake Lloyd performance he ever gave.
Absolutely.
One line. Here's to you, Dad. Glug, 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 glug. Okay, so I guess we should talk about some of our favorite scenes then.
Favorite scenes. All right. Let's get first here.
You go first.
Okay, so I guess at first I will just spotlight two sight gags that I just found delightful in this special. One of them we already mentioned, which is Thrasher. This guy has a very limited screen time, so I'm just going to kind of resort to his introduction. I just absolutely love the look of this guy.
Like Lanny walks up to him and says, "Oh, Thrasher! I thought he was a myth. I
Oh my
am a
God.
myth."
He's total Clint Eastwood to me. I
They
don't know where
crush
you're
you.
getting. I don't know where you're getting Schwarzenegger. He's totally Clint for
I'm
me.
saying with like the jacket and the sunglasses, he looks like the Terminator.
I guess so. But
I mean, it looks awesome.
the voice is more Clint Eastwood, though. I think.
It is Clint Eastwood like it's really cool, man. I am a myth. Which, by the way, have you seen Gran Torino?
Yes, I've seen Gran
I
Torino.
just wanted to make
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah, Gran Torino, great movie.
Okay.
Sad.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways.
The gritty version of Inside Out.
Oh God.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong because it
Okay.
has nothing to do with like little voices inside people's heads controlling it and imagination and everything.
But did I say Inside Out?
Yeah, you said Inside Out.
I thought I said Up. No, it's the gritty version of Up.
I would have to watch it again. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I meant sorry,
Yeah.
I meant Up. I don't know why I'm thinking Inside because you remember the Inside Out tissue so much.
No, I can see Gran Torino as the gritty version of
Because I've always joked there are two movies that are the gritty versions of Up, and it's Gran Torino and it's Saint Vincent. They're both the gritty versions of Up.
I still need to see Saint Vincent.
The R-rated gritty versions of Up. Okay.
Okay, anyways. No, but for Thrasher, he's just just the limited amount of screen time he has, the presence, the design. Oh, it's so cool.
It's the idea that Dasher has a really awesome cousin who is like he's the incognito reindeer. He's the one that does the run before all the other reindeer.
And I love how he's like chewing on a candy cane the same way like an outlaw would like chew on a toothpick.
Well, more like it's like cigars.
Right, yeah, that too.
But also, I love the visual of like how he moves. Like they do this really great play, and again, Michael Giacchino does the score for this special, and he does a great job.
Oh yeah, of course.
And with the Giacchino score, they always have this great bit of like, all the military times are on the screen, and basically they get you into the zone like they're in the plane about to be dropped into the combat zone, that sort of thing. And they have this pod that's attached to Thrasher when he's moving in the snowy atmosphere. It looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so and then what's his line?
Well, I told you. I went through, I am a myth, and you'll be too if you tell me one.
Oh yeah, right. You'll be too,
or something like that. That's the gist of it.
Yeah. Okay. And then really super quick, I just love the moment where Wayne turns on the TV and Donald Duck bursts open the door during Mickey's Christmas Carol. It's like, "Merry Christmas!" I'm like, "Who just put you in that?"
Oh, look, a Christmas special. Do you want to watch a Christmas special? No, let's change it.
Oh God, good stuff.
Stuff talking the cookie.
Just seeing that just made me realize how much of an iconic staple of Christmas Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Well, there's a Charlie Brown reference in this special.
Is there really?
Yeah, McGee has the Charlie Brown Christmas tree behind her.
I totally missed that.
It doesn't have the blue blanket, but it has like the one bulb and the really...
Right.
Yeah, it's an intentional reference to Charlie Brown Christmas.
Okay,
my moment. Okay, this is the big one. The best part of this whole special for me, I should rewatch this moment because it's just so awesome. If you thought just the world building was impressive enough, there's one sequence that just shows you, oh my God, I have to watch this special over and over again to see this awesome moment unfold. It's the big climax. So, so again, after Wayne is going to talk Santa and okay, turn around, which again is a gutsy move because again, Santa Claus is very precise in this universe. Again, the good world building they've established that Santa Claus, these sites are prepped so you can wham, 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 get all the houses across the planet. And this is like him going out of his way here in the midst of a snowstorm, and the idea is the snow is a little too hard to land already. So Wayne and Lane, they get on the roof. They're preparing for Santa Claus. They put the these really cool little snowman devices that form a landing strip. One of them blows away, unfortunately. It's like how Buzz Lightyear's wings are like real planes, where they have like the little flashing lights that kind of signal the planes to land here.
Yeah, sure.
So the idea is the thing flies off. So like they're missing a landing strip. It's too hard to see in the snow already. So how the heck are they going to signal Santa Claus to land there? Because no landing strip means no stop, which means no Christmas for Timmy, which is bad. So. There's really awesome thing. They skate. They not skate. They ski across the roofs of other houses. They get to this again. Michael Giacchino's music, by the way, is just phenomenal. When they reach this winter wonderland, it's beautiful. So the point is They they get the decorations from this one house.
Okay, really quickly with the decorations. They're all like real decorations.
Yeah.
Which I love. I love the detail in that. Like the reindeer with the lights on them and the blow up Santa. I see those like all around my town. I'm like, oh my god, there they are. That was kind of like the surreal, like that was like the Christmas equivalent to Toy Story for me, seeing those in an animated film.
By the way, the original Toy Story, the only Pixar film ever set around Christmas time.
Oh my god, yeah, it was set around Christmas time, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, it ended at Christmas time.
Okay, anyways.
Anyway, so again, so my moment here is just basically the moment right when after Wayne, after they get the decorations over there, and like they've lifted it up and they've done this really cool thing with like the parachute to get it up there and get it hooked up there. So basically the decorations have been inflated. The inflatable snow globe. The giant inflatable snow globe is basically it's lighting up, and they've synchronized the light sequence with their gadgets in their belts, so basically you can flash like a giant landing strip, so they can see all the way up there in the midst of the snowstorm. So they're landing this right after Lanny has been saved by Wayne. Then the music kicks in here. One of my favorite, I think probably most. If I really saw this used to a great extent in the Batman Arkham Origins game, where they weaved in Joker's introduction with the Christmas music because it's set around Christmas time. So what they did is they used "Carol of the Bells." I'm really every time I check out the song "Carol of the Bells," it's really this great intense. I play a little bit in our Gotham speculation. That music.
Right.
And basically, the original orchestration, none of this guitar stuff. It's just like, come on, that's taking the class out of it. So the point is, like, Giacchino is using this score, and it's just fantastic, just playing the intensity. Because you really you take that music, you ramp it up with like an orchestra and a choir behind it. It gets fantastically big and awesome. The build is intense. Because again, Santa Claus is at like Mach speed. He's landing towards his house. The reindeer they deploy, the legs go out. So then there was in landing mode, and then they realize, okay, we're coming in too hot. We're coming to. We'll be lucky if we make this. And then Wayne realizes the tail hook. They have something to link to the tail hook, so they pull out the one of my favorite gadgets, the Candy King grappling guns. Which me, I love my grappling guns.
Of course.
Pull out the Candy King grappling gun. They wrap it around the fireplace. It misses, and you think, oh no, Santa's gonna crash, or he's gonna miss the house. Thankfully, Lanny catches it just in the nick of time, and they look to each other. This look of acknowledgement of like, hey, I'm here for you, buddy. And then. Then the tail hook is there. The music is ramped up. Dun, 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 dun. It's just this as Lanny just jumped with the Candy Cane thing. That's the height of it, just with the music there. And then of course you think, okay, the sleigh's still it's toast. It's gonna fall off the roof. And Lanny pushes the button on the belt, and basically the parachute hat triggers. Very James Bondy with all the gadgets, and I'm loving it. Just the hat triggers his parachute like a rocket coming down. Basically, he stops the sleigh from leaving the roof, and the day is saved. Just this Carol of the Bell build up. I love it very much so.
Okay.
It's the perfect kind of tonal thing you need for this thing to ramp up kind of a great climax.
Yeah, definitely. Really good use of music, really good use of visuals, all around.
How can you make just Santa Claus landing at a house the most suspenseful thing ever? How can you do that? Basically, add Carol of the Bells on it with this landing strip being formed, and it works fantastically.
Okay, so I guess my second favorite moment would be it's kind of similar to yours in a way. It is the takeoff of Santa's sleigh. Now, I just love the build to this. I love how absolutely epic and just exciting they make this event. First off, this is where we get the Rosebud reference, where Rosebud comes out. It's Santa's big sleigh. It's the main sleigh. I'm like, yes, I love that.
Oh yeah.
You knew I was gonna adore that, right? I'm sure you did.
Yeah, I had a feeling you were gonna like that. If nothing else, you were gonna like the Rosebud gag. I knew that much.
And I love the Rosebud gag, yeah. But no, just what I really love about this sequence, just all around, like I said, is how it builds. It builds very much like how yours builds, because, first of all, you have McGee in the tower. You have all the reindeer getting pumped up. They're pumping themselves up, and then McGee. I just love specifically the thing I really love here is the whole bit where they're just like, dash away, and then McGee very dramatically about to push the button. dash away all.
And as that happens, Santa Claus then cues the the ho ho, pushes the button ho.
It's so epic, Blue Dragon 5. You know what I want? I want like a Santa sleigh motion simulator in a theme park now. Because this whole sequence like revs me up for something like that.
You know, it'd be great if you did like a Millennium Falcon thing where like the snow turns into like the light speed.
Yes.
Seriously,
yes.
you know that'd be cool looking.
I think that would explain some things. I think someone should do that with Santa Claus mythology sometime.
Think about it, you see the night sky and the aurora borealis, and then of course the snow turns into light speed.
We're going into Snoper Drive.
We're going into ludicrous speed.
Oh god. Okay. Anyways.
So with your sequence.
Yeah. Just all around, just really good build up, really good atmosphere, and just it gets you hyped up. It really shows you how large this thing. It shows you like the scale of it, and that's something that I love about the special. All right, so going in.
So my next moment is attached to your moment. It's kind of sandwiched in between your bits. There's like out of all the great little bits you have of them just kind of getting things ready, my favorite one, just the one that just cracks me up, and I think just kind of sums up our emotions on this special. It just sums up what we think about this on the whole. Is when McGee says, "Okay, rev up the engines." This little elf drops down in front of the reindeer on a string, and he just goes. The animation I think is flawless on this little sequence. I think this is the most hysterical moment of the whole special, in my opinion. It's just like this little elf. It's this cute little elf, just animated brilliantly, just like moving his arm like a little pirate motion, just going like, yeah. Yeah, yeah. And then he's revving up our two lead reindeer, which are Dasher and Dancer, and just like going, yeah. They're hyped up, they're pumped up, and just responding to him, yeah. Like it's
like I said, it's like you can just feel the energy. You're just really hyped up. It's like, all right, let's do this.
And again, that's our feelings on this special. Really, on the whole, it just feels right. And again, the reindeer are getting hyped up, and again, our hilarious reindeer characters are kind of set up from that point. It's like these guys are super into their jobs.
Oh yeah, they are so into their jobs.
I mean, just that moment to me is just like flawless comedy and just like flawless. That just sums up everyone's the audience revved up at the same time. It's like you're in for a good time. Okay.
All right, so my last moment here would be, it's kind of a combination of a couple little things, but first of all, I do love the heroics of Wayne here when McGee calls in and Wayne's like, no, we have to deliver Timmy the present, because just think about it, and he has to call Santa and everything like that. But first of all, like I said, it's framed up really well because we have Lanny kind of like being very disenfranchised with Wayne after he kind of sees how selfish he is. So it's set up very well that Wayne needs some redemption, and and Wayne's kind of seeing what this Christmas is going to mean to Timmy and everything. So it's a great kind of build to his heroicism. And, he just gets right on the phone to McGee, and he's like, McGee, you don't patch me up to the big man, then I will tell everyone about you and Tiny. Then it cuts back.
Tiny's hat stands on the tip, like alfalfa for a moment there.
Yes.
Like a little exclamation point motion.
Like just with a little like cartoon like sound effect, like bing.
And a little suggestive too.
Very suggestive. Very suggestive. I was like, whoa, they got that past the censors.
So apparently the main thing is that Wayne knows something that McGee and Tiny have done that they don't want anyone else to know about. So we're assuming it's maybe they spent a little too much time under the mistletoe.
Oh god.
Maybe.
But I mean, that's the gag in this scene that I love, because I think that is kind of like the clever, every Pixar film's got to have that clever like joke that only the adults are gonna get.
But again, just to make it fair, not Pixar, but also Disney films that lately, in the Pixar style here, have been doing a lot of dirty jokes in the midst. They're like Frozen has a few suggested
Frozen has a few, yeah. But, like I said, I think it's not just that joke, though. I really do love how, how his redemption is built up and earned. And I love how he comes through for Lanny in this moment. I love Lanny's reaction to it. It's like, all right, now this is the guy that was on my poster in my wall when I was a kid. You know, it just really makes you feel good about all the characters involved. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and of course, like I was hoping it'd say that.
Right. It's just like, you know, as always, it's just a moment that sort of gets you pumped up.
Again,
You know, you
Santa
want
Claus,
Christmas to go down.
like
It's
this,
like a sporting event.
yeah, this feels like a very mythic Santa Claus. The one that's saying it's like the Santa Claus you want him to be. The Santa Claus you would dream of. Like,
Sure.
I was hoping it says he's like looking for someone just to give him permission. Like, yeah, just let me do this. Come on, I'm with you, man. We're a team on this.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so my last moment's actually backtracking to the beginning. This is something that, this one and the sequel do. Well, not a sequel, our next special does, and this is kind of a recurring thing I would hope that continues with this franchise, should it continue, which I really hope it does. I love the Nat King Cole. They open with classic Christmas music that kind of sets the mood, and then that music is like kind of shortened instantly once the special starts, like kind of our cool spy music.
And BlueDragonFive, I think we know at least one, you know, evil legendary figure who would just get a kick out of the fact that this song is opening.
Oh, yes.
Jack Frost nipping at your nose.
Seriously, I mean,
ooh, sing it again. Ooh.
But seriously, I do also. I really love the on its own though. I mean, again, the animation looks beautiful. We get the little examination of the sets here. It feels very classic Christmassy, which is what last year was going for when he okayed this. Like going for kind of a classic Christmas special. Then, of course, abbreviate a lot of really cool stuff. But just the beginning there just feels so familiar. We're all sucked in instantly because you're hearing the wonderful Nat King Cole song. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. It's like classic Nat King Cole. It's all great. The song we all know from Catch Me If You Can. Everything's going great. And then, then of course our special starts. It's like you're completely taken off guard as the fire is put out. Wait a minute, the song was all about the fire. What's going on now? It's a great way to open a special, and they kind of do that with the next one too. Let's play a little bit of classic Christmas music, and then kind of our expectations are subverted in a great way as Lanny kind of narrates over what the gist is of the special, which is neat.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, this is not a Christmas special that we're used to. This is something different.
It's like what it's signaling is that, this is going to be different, but it's also going to be a really great special. You're going to be along for the ride with this here. You're going to enjoy it very much so.
And there's also going to be some familiarity to it. It's not going to be all totally subversive.
It's like we're not turning everything on its head necessarily, but we're going to be like definitely showing you angles of this you never thought of that you're going to really love.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, South Park Bono got out there for a second.
I can't help just imagining our little elf here just in famous film moments, just kind of revving up our protagonist. Like, for example, I'm thinking, as you probably have guessed, I'm thinking of some Breaking Bad right now. I'm thinking of Jesse Pinkman being revved up. Magnets, yeah,
magnets, right, Jesse? Yeah. Oh God. Okay. So I guess that leads us into pros and cons, right?
Yeah,
naughty and nice.
Yep. Let's start with the nice.
Okay, well, I really don't think there's a lot of naughty here, so...
There is very little naughty, but there's a lot of nice. So let's so again, overall, it's a nice, it's a very clever idea, brimming with illogical logic, which is our bag.
It's absolutely just every little thing about it, from the whole fact that they have to spray down the fireplaces in case there's a fire, scanning the cookies, no nuts. I appreciate that because I'm allergic to nuts, and I get that.
And what's great about this though is that it shows it's with the simple idea every kid is asked, and everyone's asked with the Christmas special and the idea of Santa Claus. How does he do it all in one night? And this is like, again, it doesn't answer all the questions, and of course there's a lot of. It's like what Arthur Christmas does. Of course, there's that big comparison between this and Arthur Christmas. They were both kind of in production at the same time, so it's kind of hard to say. Like, the idea of Arthur Christmas was brought up in 2007, but it got in development in like 2000. It was like basically after this, then it was in production.
I would probably give the edge to Arthur Christmas when it comes to just the world building, but then again, it is a full feature film.
Yeah.
However, I would probably give the edge to this in terms of the characters.
Yeah, what I mean is like the way they approach it here is like just looking in the approaches here. That's the big comparison people would draw after Arthur Christmas kind of stole this special thunder, and that's unfortunate because unfortunately the special hasn't gotten enough. And bear in mind, your animation takes time. That's probably why we haven't gotten more, because it takes time to make them.
No, but I mean, you're right. I can see how Arthur Christmas coming out being kind of... Arthur Christmas wasn't like a huge deal, but Arthur Christmas is a movie that's very artistically and critically respected, if not very well known.
Yeah.
So,
no,
yeah.
This was very well received. Don't get me wrong, man. They're both successful. That's the main thing to take away from that. But
right.
What I mean is like their approaches are a little similar to the idea, like kind of a strike team of elves kind of preparing for Santa Claus. But the difference with Arthur Christmas is that they were mainly doing all the legwork for Santa. So that was
exactly.
And here, I love the idea here is like Santa is still a necessary cog. Arthur Christmas was going through a very different thing of like questioning the meaning of Santa Claus. This is like Santa Claus is obviously the fixture we all know and love, but it's not really his story. That's the main difference between these two takes on Santa Claus. It really kind of placed the importance of, okay, so how does Santa do it all in one night? And in this case, it's like, Santa Claus, there's still magic there, so we don't know all the answers, but the elves, we get like an inkling of the answers. Like, okay, so everything's set up and prepped for Santa Claus. So you just fastly go through each house magically, and we don't even need to see that. We just need to see him go down the chimney, which we do see in that opening sequence.
Mm-hmm.
He usually hops down the chimney. We don't see him go all the way down the chimney. He's like, okay, he hops in the chimney, it bursts a lot of snow and around the place, and like Wayne gets covered in snow per year, and that's a job well done for him.
Yeah, totally.
So then that's the point. It's like kind of it's adding to the idea without giving too much away of like, it's how does Santa Claus do it all in one night? Well, he has these prep and landing elves that prepare everything for him. Okay, it's like just enough. It's like the rest of it's Christmas magic, just him doing his stuff. As it gives a little bit of explanation.
Mm-hmm.
No wonder there's some fantastic world building, as we mentioned.
And then I think another strength is just the presentation of all the characters. I think down the line, there's not really any that are unlikable. And I can see how Lanny himself, like, I think he's maybe the weak cog in the machine, but not really. He's just the one that stands out the least. And, but I just think, like, all around the board, from, our main characters to just the, like, people like Tiny, who only get a little bit to do, and the reindeers and stuff like that, people like Thrasher, who are basically just a sight gag, just all around the board, it's filled with memorable personality.
Well, let me say this with the world building. I kind of broke it down into three aspects of why the world building is so effective here. It's that it kind of breaks down into, it's got this office atmosphere at the workplace, which feels very realistic and is very funny.
Yeah, definitely.
Real office space kind of vibe with the elves, like just the workplace antics. So like so real, so mundane. You got some great mundanity in the workplace with the elves. Like there's parking space dilemmas, all that stuff. You have it's really on the job. It's very militaristic. It's really kind of like a military mission vibe, which is pretty cool. Like they're striking. They're going down there. They're getting the job done, getting things prepped for the big man. But also like when Santa Claus is into the picture, it gets very NASA mission. It's like a very NASA mission control aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
So in the world building, it's like these three different tones mix very well together, and they're very well integrated.
Yeah, for sure.
And you don't really see like the office set up with Santa Claus and the elves a lot, and that's something very rare, and you get a lot of good stuff with it here.
I mean, one of the best lines, I think, is when Timmy's like, "Are you a baby elf?" And he's like, "No, I'm not a baby. I have a pension." It's just like day-to-day office mundanity at its finest, but in a Christmas setting.
Yeah, like people trying to cozy up next to the boss a little bit there when the coal elves are trying to get, oh, my wife made this for you. I made him a fruitcake. And he doesn't want this fruitcake at all, but he's taking to be pleasant. What's your name? I'm this name, but they call me Nancy. He says, oh, well, Nance, I'm going to savor every last bite of this. And he like delivers it, pawns it off to McGee, who then gives it to Lanny as a Christmas gift because no one wants that thing except Lanny.
Mm-hmm.
So let me fire through a few of my, me being the gadget guy that I am. I'm so impressed with the world building. I love the gadgetry in this special so much.
By all means.
So again, there is our parachute hat, which is very handy. The whole landing strip thing with like this really cool. The design work on all these gadgets is phenomenal. I loved it. It's like it fits into the costume so well. It's like these landing strip snowmen. Then you put the snowman down, like the different layers of the snowman, like bounce out and make the landing strip, which I thought was awesome.
One of my favorite bits of world building, really quick, is the coal miner elves.
Yes, and let's just say you're going to see a lot more of those in the next one, Tiki.
That's cool because that's something that I never thought about. like where would they get all that coal? But it makes so much sense. It's like, well, you gotta have coal miners, man. Come on, even elves have to have coal miners. It's a shitty job, but
let me just tell you, you're going to see a whole great level to the coal miner elves in the next special. There's a whole
okay, I'm excited because I really like that idea.
I think you're really going to like the next one. When we get to it next year.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, anyway, so let me continue. So again, some great guys. Again, my favorite one, if I can just have one, I mean, I love the candy cane grappling gun. The grappling hook candy cane is just perfect for me.
Of course.
Yeah, because I love Batman's grappling gun. I just love that kind of form of a grappling gun. It's a seasonal one too, which is really cool. I love the temperature gauging gloves where things like put their hands on the milk and kind of like judge like how cold it is for Santa Claus.
Oh yeah.
See if it's like room temperature or not. It would just probably be handy. Like you don't want him like getting bad stale milk or something.
Right.
Because again, if Santa Claus has run to the bathroom, it kind of throws off the schedule.
And does Santa Claus have an allergy to nuts?
It suggests he might.
I guess so. That's perfectly understandable. I have an allergy to nuts too. So
right on, Santa. It could be an allergy to nuts, or it could be like if they're searching for any other like stuff that could be with the cookies, maybe. I don't know.
Right. Okay, I hear you.
Let's see. So the gingerbread readout device. Just love this idea. They have the little scanner and like their device that kind of does all these various functions. They can sequence things. It's basically an iPhone built into a gingerbread man, which I thought was really neat. I love the skis and within the elf shoes is really neat, and the knockout dust ornament grenade.
Yes, that's great.
I love the idea. They have even little dog treats for the dogs. Like they're elves that are prepared like Batman. They have like little candy cane dog treats for the dog, just so because we know Merry Christmas to those dogs are doing their thing.
right.
Very honest. Of course, the reindeer are excellent as we.
They're fucking amazing. They're
seriously, probably the best
dedicated to their jobs.
Probably the best reindeers in any Christmas special. I'll go as far as to say they might be the best reindeers.
I would think so. I'd be hard pressed to find what would even be a comparison.
I mean, Olive's a cool. Again, Olive's technically not a reindeer. So
fuck Olive.
Okay, take it easy.
I'm just kidding. That's a good special, but
it is. Don't badmouth Olive, okay?
Oh, the reindeer from Grandma got run over by a reindeer. Those were some good reindeer. No, I'm just kidding.
It better be.
They were good reindeer because they ran over Grandma.
Nothing was wrong with Grandma. It was the rest of everyone.
That's very true. Oh God, especially that ant.
Yeah, Aunt.
We should review that movie. We should do that as like a Christmas with the Crank style thing next year. Well, I would be down for that.
I don't think we can add the dimension that other people who talked about Christmas with the Cranks can add that.
Right. Okay. Anyways.
Anyway, so let's finishing up here on the nice here. So again, there's so many great elements. Again, big element for me. The Giacchino score is flawless, and the integration of the Christmas music into the score is phenomenal and very powerful for the tone.
I really want to see Giacchino conduct a Star Wars score at some point.
I don't want to sound negative or anything. I'm just saying eventually when John Williams will, I would love Giacchino to right. I don't want to say it, but I'm saying preparation, so be prepared.
I actually wouldn't mind seeing Giacchino kind of maybe start with a Star Wars spin-off.
Oh, that's an excellent idea. Yeah, that would be great.
Right.
Start him off with the Rogue One could be all Giacchino.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm. Okay. Anyways.
Yeah.
Damn. Star Wars. It's like every fucking podcast we've had this week. It's just we work in a Star Wars conversation.
Remember, that's what we're building to that. That's kind of our secret Christmas ending. Is Star Wars.
If you want to say so, sure. I'm not connecting that to Christmas, but
remember, you're the one who said that your Christmas gift was Force Awakens.
Well, no, my Christmas gift is Force Awakens because I don't have anything else. Force Awakens was the peak of my holiday season, man.
And what are we hopefully going to be getting to after our stuff here?
But I'm saying you seriously misconstrued my words. I wasn't saying whatever. We are getting to Force Awakens, but
regardless,
BlueDragonFive, us and everyone else on the internet are getting to the Force Awakens. Like at this point, I'm kind of sick of hearing about Force Awakens spoiler talk.
You don't mean that.
We'll do it. Yes, I very much mean that, actually. I'm sick of it.
Oh,
Especially the people that just praise it outright and don't address any criticism with it at all.
well, then I guess you're not going to be watching our video.
No, I'll be recording our video and I'll be engaged in the conversation and everything. Don't get me wrong. I'm just a
All right,
little
all
burnt
right.
out on it.
Okay, back on this. Back on this.
And as a matter of fact, I think I'm kind of like ready to sort of poke some holes in the film. I think I'm ready to be kind of the downtrodden person of the podcast. So get ready for that.
Great. Just perfect. Anyway.
I don't think it's a bad movie. I just don't think it's a fucking masterpiece.
Enough of the Star Wars talk. Let's get back to the topic.
All right.
So Giacchino's score was
Sounds like
excellent.
an old married couple.
So Giacchino's score was fantastic. It feels like we have a really great classic Santa Claus, and the humor overall is very clever. It's got a lot of heart to it at the same time. So a lot of nice qualities the special has.
Yeah, definitely.
And with the naughty, there's very, very little, and really most of these just kind of points of like, you think it's a little much or not? That's all, really. That's mainly my gripes are with it. Unless you got anything.
Well, a little much with what?
Well, I mean, I'll get into it. I'm just saying, you have anything before I go into them?
Let's see. I mean, like I said, very, very, very minimally. I think Lanny is maybe not as likable as he could have been. I think he might be a little bit of a know-it-all, but it's a very minor nitpick, and I'm sure his character gets better in the sequel.
Yeah, my stuff is very. I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't expect like a ton from Lanny, but basically you'll like Lanny in the next one a lot more.
Right. And then I'm trying to think of anything else. To me, just the fact that this is like 18 minutes long, it doesn't waste a second of screen time. It's like I wouldn't call it perfect, but it's pretty close to being flawless.
Okay, so again, bear in mind these are very minor. I'm just saying, I'm not saying this is naughty. I'm just saying it's something that people might see as a criticism. That they go in a very bold direction with Wayne about kind of. I'm saying if people didn't warm up to Wayne, then they're probably not going to warm up to him in the special. Again, it was a gutsy thing of that they show Wayne kind of acting out around the holidays, and sometimes it's a gutsy move around a holiday special. Sometimes you risk not liking your character. I think they successfully pulled that off. I'm just bringing up as a potential criticism.
Well, I actually think that part of the appeal of Wayne is he kind of got his holiday spirit back throughout the course of the special.
It is, but that's what I'm saying. If people didn't buy into that from the beginning, then they'd have a problem. But I think they successfully pulled that off. I'm just saying it's a potential. Not for me. That's potential.
Yeah, I think they pulled it off without a hitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, anyway, so with that, let's see. So Timmy might come across as a little rushed.
He's a plot device. He's not a character.
Yeah, that's the thing. Timmy's a little rushed, and then instant after he sees Wayne, then he's like dreaming about Wayne. That's a little much. But then again, it's like short-term memory working through the dream logic. So
I feel like there's a little bit of a misdirection where it's like, he sees Wayne, he takes the picture, and then it cuts to commercial, and it's like, oh my god, the secret's out. And then it's like, no, just throw an ornament on him and delete the picture from the camera. No big deal.
I mean, the idea that Wayne is like still in his he's mentioning Wayne in his sleep, so I get like a short-term memory thing in the dreams. I don't know, it makes kind of.
But I thought there was going to be like a big to-do about like, all right, kid, you got to delete the photo. You got to delete, like them having to come up with an excuse to delete the photo.
Yeah, I was expecting a little bit of that too, but I think they smartly glazed over that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the baby elf line kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but it's nothing bad. I mean, I love the pension payoff. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I love the pension line.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I'm like, I'll give it a pass because the pension part of it's hilarious. But I'm just saying baby elf's a little insulting. Kid, come on.
Yeah.
But the answer is, this one's going to be this is my last gripe. I'm going to show you how great the special is. This one is the most frivolous criticism you can ever imagine. It is just, I really think that the kid's last name is very stupid.
What's the last name? Remind me.
Turwelp. Out of all the last names you could have, who picks Turwelp?
It reminds me of Terwilliger from Atlantis. Milo Terwilliger.
I'm just saying. What if the kid's Milo? Ooh, no, it's not. Okay, so
what if the kid's Milo? Oh God. Yeah, and there's no steampunk like Victorian shit around, so I think that throws out that theory.
All right. Okay.
I'm sorry, that broke me. I just love the ridiculous saturation of fan theories that we have
That's the
now.
thing. That's what I'm trying to point out there. You have all these weird, like Tarzan is related to Anna and Elsa.
Oh yeah,
And,
oh yeah, better believe it.
all that stuff. Even the Frozen, the director's like saying, "Oh yeah, sure, that's true." And then there's also this.
Oh my god.
They're
Oh my
just messing
god.
with them. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Anyway, but yeah, so Turwelp is like a really odd last name for the kid. Like they show it on screen a few times. Like, why would they pick that last name for the kid? Turwelp is such a weird last name. Again, it's
Well,
the only
family. It's a family name, so it's not like they had a choice.
I don't mean them. I mean the guys making the.
Oh, right.
I know how name. I know how last names work.
I'm sorry.
I'm
You
saying,
haven't noticed I'm drinking a beer, so I might be a little intoxicated.
right. Anyway, so yeah, Turwelp, it's kind of an odd last name because that's the worst thing I can say about this. What does it say about this special? That's the worst criticism I can give it. The Turwelp's an odd
Wow.
one.
Just throw in the hat, man.
You see what I mean? It's just such a good special. It's like very little naughty. This is probably the least naughty of all the things we've talked about.
This is the least naughty of all the things we've talked about in 2 years of seasonal shenanigans, I'd say.
I don't know. Maybe I think. I'm trying to think. I think we've had some pretty good stuff in the past.
Well, I mean, I think the closest you could probably get is Peanuts, but even Peanuts has like a few things like that are a little wonky with it. Wonky in a very good, charming kind of way.
Yeah, like
womp,
womp, womp.
Right. I think this is just all around almost perfect. It's just Pixar quality at its finest.
Through Disney, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Again, I just love the fact that Disney's kind of new renaissance, wherever you want to say second or third. Have some people like to divide there, so it feels like the second renaissance is what it feels like.
I would say second renaissance is that's a good term.
I want to call it second renaissance, but some people disagree with that. But the point is,
it would be maybe nice from an originality standpoint to come up with another word besides renaissance.
Yeah, I would love the reawakening, but I don't.
Like resurrection, something like that. I don't know.
Rebirth.
Yeah, the Disney rebirth. I don't know.
Sounds kind of cool. It worked for Batman.
The Disney uprising.
Well, Rebirth worked for Batman Beyond. That's how they started theirs. It's called Rebirth. That's an awesome name.
That's true.
Okay, regardless, though, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like I love the Rebirth or Renaissance Mark II of Disney. It just has this great qualities. It's like taking the old Disney stuff that we love, but also infusing a lot of Pixar charm and Pixar quality, especially the animation. It's flawless Pixar animation.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But of course, they're varying the styles too. So, I mean, the styles really aren't repeating themselves in many ways, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting these great quality of things there with all the new Disney stuff, and this is like fitting into that era of this new Disney stuff from the beginning. It's been really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess how it stacks up, just in addition to what we just said there, it's a great holiday special.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go out on my limb and say it's like in the it's. I wouldn't put it up there with like something like The Grinch or Charlie Brown or something like that.
It's like kind of the second tier of the classics. It's like
it's one of those things where if it gets played over and over every year, I think it could have the potential to be like this generation's Charlie Brown or Grinch.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's like kind of like second tier, second generation era, but the new specials we're getting there kind of feel like we're watching over and over again, feeling like classics.
Sure,
not getting rid of the original classics though.
And I would definitely give the edge to this over something like the Toy Story That Time Forgot.
Well,
which we were both very mixed on.
No, we were mixed on. So, I liked it.
Well, I liked it too, but we both agreed that it could have been stronger, though.
Little strong. I think it was pretty strong. I mean, I was expecting more of a Christmassy thing, but
that's what I'm talking about. This alludes Christmas like all over. There isn't a frame of this movie that is Christmas.
That's the thing. I mean, the last thing we'll say about Toy Story Time Forgot, because this isn't about that.
No, but I'm saying, Toy Story That Time Forgot. It basically just kind of becomes like this whole spin-off with these with this other toy line of dinosaur creatures
Well,
for
bear in
most of
mind,
the runtime.
the thing to bear in mind is we were expecting a Christmas special. The idea is it's the 26th, so it's the day after Christmas.
Which is clever. I'll give Pixar props for that.
I mean, it's
that
a
was
very
clever idea.
It's a very accurate post-Christmas thing, like the realistic thing with toys after Christmas, which was great to see. That's what that special, they did a great job of that. But as a Christmas special, you're right. This would stack up better as a Christmas special than that. In that regard.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, that is a perfect after Christmas special. This is the perfect Christmas. But in comparison to those two, this would be the perfect Christmas special.
And I would wager to say, like, I don't know. Can you think of anything like post Grinch that is as good or better than this? Like in between Grinch and this?
Well, I mean, like the Disney, bear in mind, Disney Christmas Carol came in like the '80s. One was.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, like making Grinch the cutoff isn't the wisest of things. Yeah. So you had like special.
Well, let's make Mickey's Christmas Carol the cutoff then.
Okay, it's like in what was that, '88 or
something like that. Yeah.
I can't really think of anything in the '90s that was like.
No.
I know
had some good Christmas movies, but not so many specials.
Well, I think for Disney, it definitely works. This is probably the best Disney Christmas special since Mickey's Christmas Carol, definitely.
Yeah. And props for using original characters too.
Oh, yeah, this is very creative. It's very rewatchable with what we're saying about kind of being classy. It is kind of like a new classic in many respects, like a new generational classic.
Well, I mean, there's so many details here that I had to pick up on. I definitely had to rewatch it because, I watched it once. Then I went out, I saw a movie, and then I came back, and I had to watch it again before we went on air because I was like, oh, my God, there's, like, so much to pick up on with this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would love to get more of this. Again, we have a little bit now, and I'm hoping that just like the reason we haven't had any more is because they're working on it. I'd like to think that, but, unfortunately, some time's gone by, and I think they might be busy with other projects. But, I still have hope that this premise and these specials have been so good. I mean, I just want more of them.
Well, it'd be great to at least get like a third longer short, like a third half-hour short.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good.
To kind of make it a trilogy, that at least would be satisfying.
Yeah.
So, okay. So,
and they could have Tim Allen in it, and Martin Short,
oh
might be
awesome. And Martin Short, and Elizabeth Mitchell.
Why not? And let's get Judge Reinhold in there.
Throw in Alan Arkin. Come on down.
And Margaret.
Oh my God.
Aisha Tyler.
Oh no.
Lana Archer herself. Awesome.
Eric Lloyd. I saw Eric Lloyd was the credit for Charlie, and at first I thought he was Jake Lloyd's brother, and I almost freaked out. I was like, wait, what? Okay, anyways, so I think it's fair to say we've answered the question of does this hold up? Absolutely. I think this is probably the single best thing besides maybe A Charlie Brown Christmas and besides maybe The Nightmare Before Christmas. Besides maybe The Nightmare Before Christmas that we've talked about. It's up there. It's a high caliber picture.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So what are we unwrapping?
We are unwrapping The Grinch, the original, the classic, arguably the most iconic Christmas special of all time, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the original animated version, not the Jim Carrey version.
We already talked about that one.
Yes. Can't wait for that. I think if there is one Christmas special that's more flawless than Prep and Landing, it is probably How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Oh my God. Just so many feels, so many nostalgic moments. Like every single last inch of that special is just brimming with holiday cheer, and it's so good. So good. Can't wait to talk about it. Can't wait to talk about it. Okay, and that of course is going to be our big finale of seasonal shenanigans. That's our main precedent. We saved the best for last, kids.
Absolutely.
All right.
Well, kids, time to dash away all. But as we wave goodbye, don't you cry. We'll be back again next time
for even more seasonal shenanigans.
Fa la 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 la.
I am a myth.
I have a pension.